you back?
No, I'm kidding. So you're sitting at home watching the World Series this past week. Feet up, maybe a bowl of chips in your lap. Pitcher goes into his windup, unleashing a pitch, this one darting hard to the right, away from the batter, in the last 15 feet. This catches your attention. You watch intently as the pitcher repeats his delivery, unleashing yet another pitch, this one breaking hard diagonally to the right. The batter has no chance and swings over the top. You jump out of your chair, chips spilling everywhere. You can't believe what you just saw. The hitter is walking back to the dugout, and you're left there wondering, how did he just do that? How did the pitcher, throwing a simple circular object, just make it move like that? As a pitcher myself, I am constantly asking myself this question. How do the pros make it look so much better than when I'm pitching? Were they just naturally able to do this? Or am I just really that bad? No. This led me to doing some research of my own. From this research, I discovered there are a few different factors that affect how much a ball moves in the air. Today, I'm going to share with you what affects a baseball while in the air and how they make it move like they do. I will tell you how the spin of a fastball creates lift underneath it, how a ball curves mid-air, and the different factors that make it move even more. Let's start by learning how the spin of a ball interacts with the air around it. So the most common pitch thrown in baseball is called a fastball, and most guys throw a four-seam fastball, which spins backwards. The backwards spinning creates a backspin effect of the ball. To better understand this, it's easier to think of an airplane wing. The airplane wing creates lift because the shape of it causes the air above to move faster, creating lower air pressure above, and the air underneath it to move slower, creating higher air pressure, which pushes the wing up. So the backspin of a baseball has the same effect. The spin causes the boundary layer, the thin layer of air around the ball, to shoot air forward from underneath it, contrasting the air that is trying to move underneath it as well, creating higher air pressure and slower air underneath it. The air above it combines with the faster air moving over it, creating lower air pressure above. The spin of the baseball, or the backspin, slightly opposes gravity and keeps it on a straight plane going towards the plate. While gravity is obviously interacting with the ball during flight as well, it is not possible for a ball thrown overhand to create enough lift where it actually rises and opposes gravity. So we have covered how the spin of the baseball affects how it travels. I will now tell you how these pitchers are able to make the ball curve. In the first part, I told you that a fastball slightly opposes gravity. Well, a curveball does the exact opposite. Instead of spinning backwards, when it is released, it spins forwards. The curveball thrown with forward spin creates top spin, which causes higher air pressure on top, deflecting it downwards. This additional downwards force causes exaggerated drop during the flight of the ball. The seams on the baseball also help. By rotating the seams slightly to the right or the left, it influences movement towards the point of pressure, which is when the ball breaks through the surrounding air and experiences greatest wind resistance. So as the ball is curving and it goes towards the right for a right-handed pitcher, it goes towards the point of pressure, and then that's where it actually curves when it hits that point. The dominant seam spinning, which would be the one that is straight here as it's spinning, once it catches that point of pressure with enough friction, it causes it to dart either left or right, depending on the direction of the seam, which causes the movement of different pitches. So this one here is going to curve to the right, and that's what you see here. This isn't working for some reason, but the seams are slightly rotated to the right, which is why it's going to curve that way. Sorry, I don't know if it isn't working. So I've explained what the spin of a baseball does and how it curves. Now it is time to touch on factors that cause more movement of a baseball. The seams on a baseball are either raised or flat. The raised seam create more movement on a ball than a flat seam does. A study done at the College of Worcester in Ohio demonstrated the difference between a raised seamed curveball and a flat seamed curveball. The raised seam create a higher Magnus force, which is one of the main forces acting upon the ball. So if it is curving this way, the Magnus force is going to be going up, which causes the ball to curve away from that. So in their study between the raised seam and flat seam ball, they found that a raised seam ball had twice the amount of force due to the Magnus effect acting on it. While this may sound insignificant, this means that a 90-mile-per-hour curveball, which is what the pros do throw, will drop over half a foot more than a flat seam curveball, which is quite significant for a hitter who is trying to hit that. So a higher spin rate upon a ball causes it to move more as well. The faster a ball spins, the greatest the Magnus effect is acting upon it. So as you can see, the ball is traveling this way, so the Magnus force is going to be up. So the more revolutions it takes towards the plate, the more force it generates when the dominant seam that I talked about with the curveball catches the point of pressure, which causes it to break harder away from that point of pressure and the Magnus force. So I've now taught you all you need to know about what makes a baseball move. So I've informed you how the spin of a ball creates lift underneath the baseball. I've told you how a pitcher causes the ball to move mid-air. And I've outlined a couple different factors that make the ball move more. So I believe you all know now enough to go experiment on your own and see if you can make it dance like the pros. So next time you're watching baseball on TV, you might not be as stumped by how exactly they make that pitch move. You might be able to save a bowl of chips, valuable chips in the process. Thank you.